So I got 2 more concerts coming in. So
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike and Diana, host of the One Life podcast, believe that most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike and Diana want you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities, and creates an equal playing field for all. On the One Life podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to
Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life podcast. I am Mikey Marcy Reed, and as always, we have back my co-host, Diana Gotti from the AV Wellbeing Coalition, doing it the Gotti way.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, you're back. Thank you for coming.
But it's y'all, right?
Y'all?
Texas, everything is y'all.
That's hilarious. We have our special guest with us today from Refi Snacks. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good.
Man.
Thank you for having me.
Man, it's so awesome to have you here, and thank you for the gifts.
Yes.
He brought gifts. I love when guests bring gifts.
Yes.
I love giving gifts away, especially, good candy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, so before we get into it, Refi, let's talk about you. Like, how was your trip?
You know what? It was amazing. I was away for 2 weeks. I was in Texas, and we definitely took advantage of that. We visit San Antonio, we visit Austin, and we spent a weekend in New Orleans.
Nice.
My God, that's all I have to say. It was so much fun. The food was amazing. The culture, the people. I mean, if you haven't been, definitely, get out there. And although it's humid and hot, but it was amazing. It rained on us too, and
the rain is like nice though.
Oh hell no!
No.
Oh, it was like. I mean, we were drenched.
Oh, so it's not like Portland rain.
No.
Like Seattle rain where it says drizzle.
Oh, no.
It's nice. It feels good, actually.
Oh, no. I felt like I was in El Salvador again as a child. It was just pouring. And then it's like clear, hot, and humid. And you're just like melting.
But see, then you feel good after that, though?
Oh, hell no. It was just hot. But it was so much fun. I'm so glad to be back. Feel refreshed, and
we missed you.
Yeah, thank you.
We missed you. Definitely missed you.
I missed this. I missed all just having the conversations and actually speaking to someone in New Orleans. It was like almost 3:00 in the morning, and we were just chatting away. And the takeaway from that was he thanked me for a conversation.
Right.
And he goes, "Thank you for that." And I actually was thanked a lot for a conversation out there where out here people I feel sometimes don't have the time to just stop and talk and be present. And that's what we were doing. We really were just having so many conversations with all types of people, really taking it in. It's an old city. There's so much history. There's so much culture. So I loved it.
Right. That's great, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad you. And I'm actually glad you had got to spend time with the fam because I know Brian's been away, and that was just super cool.
But he's back.
But for good, or
he's
I
back.
thought he had another couple weeks.
He came back. They sent him actually home Wednesday, a day before us. We were out in Texas.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going back though. No, he's done training.
That's it.
Oh, that's awesome.
My baby's back.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
I got to catch up with him.
Yeah, you do.
So, let's get into it.
Yeah.
I want to know your story, sir.
Because
I love your energy, by the way. I know I never had the pleasure to actually sit down and talk to you. I see you at all the pop-up and all the events and stuff, but we never really got to talk. But I just love your energy. Like, your energy just pours out.
Yeah, it does.
So.
Yeah, I think everything is energy. So when I love talking to people, and I love knowing, like, who people are and what their intentions are, and I could read people easily because of, having to talk to people all the time.
Right.
But no, the pleasure's all mine. I haven't, like I said, I haven't really got the chance to talk to you before, so I'm excited to see where this goes. I know Diana, so.
Right. Everybody knows Diana.
here and there. Actually, I said it before. When we relocated here from Los Angeles, I happened to be with my brother at the 4-Point Swap Meet. And my brother goes, hey, man, you got to come try these aguas. And I was like, aguas? And he goes, yeah, dude, this food gets down. And I was like, oh, really? And I was like, all right, let's go, And it happened to be you. And that's actually how I remembered you, was from that one time when my brother was like speaking very highly of you. And he's like, yeah, man, he's here on Sundays and we always get it from him. And then when we would come around like at other events, we would come and see you. So, and just seeing you through, our community and all the amazing things you do, especially with the youth. Yeah. That's where you kind of had my heart, where you were at Eastside High,
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. That was super dope. So yeah, that's kind of where I met you. It's probably been almost 2-3 years.
Yeah, like I've always been in the swap meet. Like even my dad used to sell pillows when I was younger, so I would go with him. Like we used to live in Santa Clarita and would drive up here like 4 a.m. to get there on time and set up. So I've always known like what to set up, how to set up, and how to talk to people and try to bring them in. And so I think that like having that experience behind me was definitely something that I can use now. So I'm so thankful for my dad I hated it at that, at the young age, because
how old were you?
I was about, I want to say 15, 16.
Okay.
So, like now I'm 25. I'm 25 now, but it wasn't that long ago. But, nobody, no 15-year-old wants to wake up at
4 in the morning to go to work. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to, I had to help my dad out. And my mom used to work at a restaurant in Santa Clarita as well. So like, we've always been working like ever since we came to the States, because I'm actually not from here. I'm from Mexico.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You see, guys, there's just so much. We had to have this conversation with you. Are you kidding me?
No, yeah. So how did it start? Where was the moment where you came up with your brand?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was little, I've always wanted to be somewhere in the acting industry or like an artist or singer, because I do sing sometimes. I love singing.
Hey.
Well, wait, man, I've never seen you at any of these karaoke jobs.
I know.
I'm a huge karaoke guy.
Yeah, he is.
I get shy. That's the thing. That's my
We got to go to karaoke.
Yeah, let's do it.
That shit is fun.
So knowing that I wanted to do something in the like business and the entertainment industry, I was like, I should start my own brand and then see where I could take it. Like eventually become like influence people to spread kindness, right? Because I believe in kindness, and kindness is so important, because when you go to the store, like I try to always be happy and like say good morning to people, and some people are just grumpy, like they're not having it. And some people go through stuff, and I get it, but I think that spreading kindness through my brand and my candy, like bringing people joy and smiles, and with my drinks, right? Like I make them with love. So I think people understand that, and people see that. So that's why it's easy for me.
Well, it's like what we call in our positive psychology class. These are jolts of joys.
Yeah, they are.
Like, and people don't realize, like, food, like this is my jolt of joy. My Starbucks chai tea latte is my jolt of joy. Every time I get this, I'm good. So, that's a great thing. I love how you put that.
Yeah. And then when I moved to the States, I started like show choir, and that really got me out of my shell. I started dancing and singing, and like this little queer boy since little, and then move forward, work with my dad to the swap meet, and been working ever since. And then COVID hit, and then I lost both of my jobs, and that's when I realized, like, okay, this is my time to like take my brand next, right? And so I was selling my candy from my home back then, and people would order on Facebook. I would put it on Facebook on those like buy and sell and trade pages, and then from there they would come and pick up, and I would give it to them in the car with the mask and everything. And then when COVID really like hit the like peak, there wasn't really nothing that we could do, like not even sell the candy, because it was, we could be with COVID.
Yeah. Things got
those were
tricky.
hard times for everyone. And then after COVID started, like slowly the the restrictions were lifted, I started going out to pop-ups, and that's when it really started. That's when I, did my logo. I designed my logo. I came up with the concept, the colors, and everything. And YouTube for University is free.
Yeah.
And I started Googling like how to start a brand, how to do this, how to do that, and people underestimate the power of YouTube nowadays.
Oh man, I tell people to YouTube, Google, like you can become anything you want. Just go watch some tutorials. Like,
yeah. Now with chat AI, right? Like now you can just type anything, like write me a caption for my Instagram post about candy, which is like I didn't have that back then. But, so that's how Refi Snacks, was born in my home with lots of love, and then the pop-up scene. And now we do like city events. We do the AB Fair, the 6 to 6 night market, and just like many big events that I've always dreamed of being a part of. And I would actually go and just check other vendors, like what were they doing, like how were their banners set up. And I think it's crucial to take time to really invest time into putting, like, okay, if you want to do something, you don't gotta reinvent the wheel, but like you definitely want to see what other successful people are doing.
I was always taught that because I was in the industry for 35 years, and my executive producer, like every time, like, because I started off as a corporate art director, and every time we was like designing something for a show, he would always tell me, like, go look at what other people are doing. Like, and it's not biting what they're doing or copying, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's just seeing what's working. It's not saying like, go take that and duplicate it, but what actually works. Like how you said, go look at how people are doing their banners.
Yes.
What works and what doesn't. Like, that's how you become successful.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pay attention to those sort of things.
If it's not broken, why fix it? Just make it your own.
Yes. And then add your own sparks to it.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So, what are you? Where are you? Like, what's your biggest dream? Like, where are you taking this?
So my dream is to take my brand to a big department store, to like Target or Trader Joe's or Walmart, so big stores, and spread the Kindness Matters movement through my candy. So it's kind of tricky, but I can explain to you. So
please.
Go ahead.
Basically, the candy brings joy to people.
Right.
So
it's a jolt of joy.
Yes. And then when people buy my candy, I want them to feel like this is a candy that was made with a purpose, and the purpose was to spread kindness. So when you buy my candy, eventually we want to be at a store where if you're having a bad day, you know that Refi Snacks is there for you. Like if nobody else is there for you, Refi Snacks is there for you. And so that's why we created different products as well. So we have like chamoy candy, we have regular candy, we have rim paste, we have the drinks. And so really where I want to take my brand is to, to the whole world. The sky is my limit. And like, I've grew up watching RuPaul, and RuPaul is a huge inspiration in my life because, you can just be yourself.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. You just be yourself. And we all, in a sense, do drag every day. You dress up and you go out there. And
if you would have seen me this morning, I don't know.
We just got off of a plane. So I'm like, oh, wow.
Contemplating makeup or none.
I love it. You look beautiful this morning.
Thank you.
And so, that's my goal with my brand. Just take it to wherever, God wants me to take my brand. I trust him.
And I love that you say that, because here we do talk about mental health as well. And what you're saying is, this is a jolt of joy. When we do go, for example, to the high schools and we do the workshop through the AV Wellbeing Coalition, we introduce, or actually we share what languishing is, right? When, especially after COVID, a lot of us were in a languishing state, right? When you're kind of feeling blah. You're not really depressed, but you're in that stage where you don't know what it is, So we teach the kids about jolts of joy, because that's a way of pulling you out. Just like you said, if no one is there for you, Refi Snacks are. Well, that's another form of a jolt of joy to pull people out of a languishing state. And it's so true, right? Especially think of your favorite dessert, or the things that you like, your favorite song, whatever it may be. Like Mike was using his coffee as an example. Exactly. you take that first sip, or even of candy. When we have your candy, it's like, oh my God, I think of the peach and then the chamoy, and there's just so much flavor, so much love. But what I'm really realizing, it's a jolt of joy, because we would have them in our pantry and then go like, we're just, kind of blah or whatever, like, oh, let me go get a candy. And then all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, okay, but that's what it is, So I love that you're also incorporating mental health, because we do have to be aware of that, like these tools in life that we have to help us pull out of those kind of funky stages that we might kind of stumble upon, right, throughout life. So that's dope that you're doing that. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So segue into this. What got you into like the whole kindness matters and mental health? Because it is mental health. Like, why is that so important to you?
It's important to me in many different levels, starting with like my personal life, and then we'll go into like my entrepreneurial life, right?
Yeah.
As a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
My personal life, I've always, I was brought here to the United States when I was 8 years old, and I didn't speak English. And so people like kids, especially eight.
Yeah.
Wow,
8
and
years
you
old.
speak perfectly great English right
Yeah.
now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do.
Wow,
I'm
your
so
learning
insecure
curve must
about
be.
it. It's so
no, your
crazy.
learning curve must be great.
So
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why
Okay.
like mental health is important for me, because I would get bullied in school, and like the kids are brutal. Like kids,
yeah.
they have, they play
Yeah.
around, and
Yeah.
now as an adult, I understand that kids are kids, and like they don't really mean what they say. But I would be, called queer, and like, go back to your country, and like, this is not how you say it. This is how you say it. This and
Yeah.
that. Like all like my elementary school years. And then when I went to middle school, that's when I really like just said, you know what, like I'm just gonna speak English, like I'm just gonna do it. So I remember being at Vallarta supermarket with my mom, and this lady was being mean to my mom because she didn't speak English. And how, like, I don't know how, it just came out. I was like, do not be rude to my mother.
Okay.
I was like, and that was like the moment where I started speaking English from there.
Yeah.
And then moving on to like my younger, like high school years, I would also be myself. Then I moved to Palmdale. And I am so grateful for moving to Palmdale. Like so grateful. I love Palmdale. I love
Really?
Lancaster. I love the AV. It's my home, like literally.
I love that.
And
I
the
love to
reason
do that.
why is because you have a big variety of people here,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
Santa Clarita, you have a certain demographic, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. We love them,
Yeah.
but I felt more welcome because I seen more of my people. I seen more of different colors, different cultures, different sexual orientations, and that's when I said, oh my gosh, nothing is just bullying and like people being rude or looking at you a certain way. And so I started getting, in high school, I started kind of getting depressed because I didn't know who I was. I still don't know who I am even today, right? Like a little bit, of course, finding myself as I go. But when anxiety and depression hit me right after high school, when I went to college, AB college, that's when I started getting help. I started seeing a counselor, and I started working through things that happened through my childhood, like bullying and
Yeah.
being called names. And, I say to parents today, like, please just teach your children to be nice to different people. Like nobody has to look like you or act like you. It's okay to be different. And I just wish that people were nicer to me when I was younger. And I'm definitely not the, like, how do you say it? The victim here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But that's what my
Yeah.
story entailed.
Yeah. Well, you're telling your truth. What I
Right.
tell people is you can't downplay your truth, because that's your reality. That is what happened, and it's not nothing victimized. It's unfortunately that's your reality, So I always tell people, never turn down your truth, because that is your truth.
Right.
It might have not happened to me, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen to you. So
I love that. I love what you
never
just
be
said.
apologetic. It is your truth. It is your story.
No, to even piggyback off that, it is your truth, and thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
But also, what you were just saying a minute ago about how you haven't found your identity, right? None of us have. It's a journey. It's not a destination. I'm 52 years old, and I'm still finding mine. Last week I did a show where I just completely told my truth that I ain't told in 50 some years. but I did because I'm not the same person I was last month. Like every day I'm growing. And the more I do this show and the more I'm embraced, even with this community, I love the AV right now because I grew up in Hollywood and in LA, but ever since I moved out here, I want to say, I moved out here about 5 years ago. But after the first year, I'm in the middle of a divorce, and like once she left, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay out here. And I started meeting people, I started meeting the city officials, and just started meeting these incredible people. And I started my podcast out here, and now it's like giving me a different purpose. Like I'm not the same person I was last year, and I like it, right? It's a struggle, right? Because I'm finding out all these things that I didn't even know about myself. Like, people coming up to me and thanking me for like doing the show and giving me all this support, but it's like I never looked at myself like that.
Yeah.
So right now it's a challenge for me because I've never been the one to accept all that. Oh, Mike, you're great. You're so amazing. Thing, but I never, because I'm always one giving.
Yeah.
And like giving compliments and doing things right. So now I'm taking all that in, and it's like, wow, it's a lot, right? But I'm enjoying it. I'm appreciating it. But I'm not the same person. You're not going to be the same person because I can see the growth in you.
Yeah.
Like just from hearing your story. Next year, you're going to be even more amazing, especially what you're doing.
And I think that's why when we first started this podcast, you said, I love your energy. And I hear that a lot. And now it's barely kicking in. It's barely kicking in. Like, people are so nice to me out there. They support my brand. They love my candy and they love the agua fresca. But most importantly, they love who I am and they love how I make them feel.
It's universal. It's like.
Yeah, it's
it
energy.
really is. It's energy. It's pure energy. Yeah. I mean, because I get that a lot too. People always. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But people are always talking about, Mike, why are you always so positive? And like, I'm really not. And that's what they teach us in our class. Like, we're really not. We have ups and downs every day. You just don't see the negative side of me, or I'm not gonna say negative, but my lower energy. Yeah. You don't see that because I keep it to myself and I stay in the house. Like someone asked me last night why I didn't go somewhere, and I was like, because my energy was low, and I'm not going to go somewhere and then spread that in the room. Like I'm just not that type of person. Yeah. Like if I feel my energy low, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to do what I got to do to bring it up.
Yeah. Even though sometimes it's hard to do that though.
It is. Oh, 100%.
For the summer, I have so many events like Wednesday through Sunday. That's 4 days in a row, I believe, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's like 5 days of events, right? And sometimes I'm like so tired, but I have to put my game on face and be who I am and try to spread kindness. Like it doesn't, because what you go through, like what my mom always taught me is like, what you go through today has nothing to do with me or your brother or your dad. Be nice to us. Like you had a bad day out there, you're gonna come home and be nice to us because that's not our fault. Right. Yeah. And that was engraved in my brain for a while. And so now when when other people like, oh, like if they say, what do you think when people don't like you? Or I just say like, if other people don't like me, it's none of my business. Like I know that I'm sincere and I'm genuinely trying to spread kindness, and if not everybody's gonna like me, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like everybody don't like chocolate milk,
right?
Yes. I don't like milk. It's okay,
and it's okay. But I support you and your chocolate milk.
Yeah, I still tell my kids, hey, drink milk because it's good for your bones. I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Okay.
It's so true. No, I guilty when I did book you. I was in line and I was like, no, I have to get him now. So I went and I got my agua and I was like, I need to book you for the interview. And immediately I text Mike, all right, we got Refi, although it's when I come back, but we got him. So I'm super glad that you're here. Like, and like I said, what you are doing also with the community as far as the kids. I'm really passionate about our youth. I think that's the best investment into the future. And like I mentioned, you were at Eastside High and you were giving away all the treats. But I think that our kids need that. They need the jolt of joy. They need to feel like they are, that they're not overlooked.
They're seen.
They're seen, they're heard and be seen. I think at that age is very crucial. And we all went through our own journeys in life, especially in adolescent. It's so iffy where you're kind of navigating like who I am, where am I going, what am I doing, kind of So that's amazing, and of course we love Brenda here at from Pretty Little Poppy, right? She was here last week.
She was trying to take your job.
I know, right?
Hey, she loved it. We had a great time last week, though.
Yeah.
Brenda's so good at everything.
It got emotional. She had me in here crying.
Yeah, no, but I saw that you also granted someone with a scholarship over at Pretty Little Poppy. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So speaking about youth and the Eastside High School event, I am so passionate about people seeing different people and being, like you said, people feeling seen and feeling heard, and because I didn't have that growing up. So why I do, what I do is because I want kids to know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be vibrant and queer and whoever you want to be, right? And with Pretty Little Poppy, what Brenda has created is such a gift in our community because she created this safe space where anybody who wants to start a business and needs help could go there and get connected with other young entrepreneurs. So there's Fabian Hustles, who is...
Fabian's amazing.
That's our guy.
So Fabian, I came across his Instagram and I've seen his videos where he's like, hey guys, it's Fabian. And at that time I was doing my, hey guys, it's Refi, come check me out at Lucky Luke, don't solve, right?
Yeah.
And doing my little commercials. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to put him out, but I said I have to put him out because someone's gonna feel inspired. So next time I've seen Fabian in person, he's like, you inspire me. And that was like, whoa, like it did happen. It was the best. And so I wanted to give a scholarship to Fabian, and through Pretty Little Poppy and Brenda, with the event she had, I was able to present a check and for his business, for him to advance and do whatever he wants with that money to make him and grow him in the right direction. Because as a young entrepreneur, when I started for my home, I never had that. So I want to be that for someone else. So even for the kids at Eastside High School, when the Parents Anonymous organization reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing this event, would you mind helping us out? And I said, yes, of course, I would love to give stuff out for free. And so completely free for the kids. And the Parents Anonymous did take care of me at the end of the day, which was so sweet of them. Like that really meant a lot because it's my time and the people that help me, and I have to pay them. So it was great getting rewarded, but we never did it with the intention of being rewarded. It was more of let's share this joy with people, and even if it's a half size, like at least everybody got something that day.
And and that's what I always teach people is to follow your passion, don't chase money. The money will always present itself. Chase your passion and it would always come, because that's the important thing.
It's true.
It just feels
I think
better.
like in the small pop-up scene, when I first started, there was a lot of negativity. There was a lot of envious within people, right? I think in my head, they didn't want to see me succeed. Maybe I'm wrong, but some people in this community and, within the Antelope Valley are very hateful towards each other. And I don't understand, why we have to be that way, because there's room for everyone. Like you said, money will come. Yeah.
Well, I think I could speak on it, not from experience. I believe people, because it is such a small community out here, right? And be honest with you, it's hard to start a business, especially up in the pop-up world. You're not going to get rich overnight. So every dime matters. So in their mind, especially if they not really familiar with business or how business works, because in the business world, it takes 3 to 5 years to build a business. And you have to have 3 to 5 years worth of equity and income to support that business in case no one walks through that door. Like, that's the reality of starting a business. So when they start these pop-ups, they're not making that much. But they still got bills. They got families to take care of. So I think that's where that comes from. It's just a lack of education about how you got to start a business. I mean, you can't go out there and do a pop-up and expect to make a living off of it. Like, you got to start as a side hustle. Like, you still got to get your money. Like, I've never had a 9-to-5 job. So I've always had side hustles, no matter what. I've always had something, a go-to where I can go make $100 real quick. So I think that's where that comes from. That's just what I believe.
I mean, my thing is crabs in a bucket, instead of, I think sometimes we don't know how to work with each other. And the fear of failing will sometimes blind them into an opportunity. to maybe collab with them. Another encounter that I had with you was when I was doing the balloons. You were very quick to like reach out that way and say, hey, you did an email and you kind of put a few businesses together. Right. You're so amazing about that. And that was another thing that I was just like, dude, that's dope that he does that you care about others. You're not, that's why I say crabs in a bucket. They kind of get on top of each other, but they're not getting out. If you're able to kind of work together, then you could kind of maybe get out. Right. And I think that that's what you put into play. And sometimes people don't realize that. They think if I'm competing with you, I'll get ahead of you. But in reality, you're just kind of exhausting yourself with such negativity, because that's what it can be. It's very heavy. And that's where I think when you're a lot kinder to people, you feel a lot lighter, and you're able to just kind of go and navigate through life a lot easier. So yeah, it's, I did grow up here in the Antelope Valley, and I would see that a lot. But I think that's what it is. It's such a small community, and people fear that they're going to take away from them, instead of realizing that the table is pretty big. Yeah. There's plenty to eat for everyone.
Again, I mean, lack of education. I think if, and that's why, even right now, I think, with the chambers and all that, there really needs to be some education about business out here. 'Cause I think people's concept of starting a business, it's like the education is not there. They, like I said, they think they can just go out and just be rich overnight. No, it takes time. It takes time to build. Like you started. I mean, your journey started honestly when you was 14 in the swap meets. Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah, but look where you've come since then. Yeah, it takes time to build a business. You just don't. Oh, I know how to make coffee. I'm gonna open up a coffee pop up, and it's no, that's not it. It takes time, and you got to put in effort, and you got to have patience. Yeah,
I also think that you have to love what you do too.
Yes,
that's something that I came across a lot of people that start a business and they're miserable doing it, and it might bring in money, but it's like, if you're not happy at the end of the day, are you even going to make this a successful business? Because for me, going back to what I was saying about RuPaul, right? There's no competition at all. Your own competition is you. How far can you go?
You versus you, yeah.
Yeah, in the small pop-up world, right, there's other vendors of your category. And eventually you're going to grow out of the pop-ups, and you're going to grow out of the events, and you're going to want a store. You're going to want to be a Target, right? But I had to go through all of that and all that energy to understand where I am now.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I know you are in a few different places here, different stores. I know you're also here on the Boulevard and in the mall. Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's super dope. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there since you were talking about that.
But see, that's great. I mean, just speaking of a mall, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few other people that sells candy in the mall, right? Yeah. But guess what? You have your own flavor. They have their own flavor. Yeah. Maybe I don't want them today. Maybe I want you. It's like having Coke and Pepsi and coffee and milk, all these different drinks. Yeah. You're not going to drink the same thing or eat the same thing every day. You need variety. Yeah. That's why I love the world, variety of people. If we was all the same, how would this world look if we was all really the same? Okay. But no, that's why it's a variety of people. It's a balance. It's the same thing in business and in life. That's why I love diversity. That's why I love business. It doesn't matter if you're at a pop-up and the person next to you selling candy, it's a different type of candy because they got a different flavor than you. Yeah. And I'm not going to eat just your candy every single day. I would get tired of it. You don't want nobody to get tired of it because you want repeat business. Yeah. That's true. So you would want that competition. No, go over to them for a couple of days, then come back. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Yeah. But it's not just candy for you. You also do catering. You do quinceañeras. You really think outside the box. And I was really impressed when I did see your display for they had an exhibition for quinceañeras. And I thought that was so dope that you're now bringing the culture, because you had the corn and the little knickknacks that
the fruit.
Exactly, the fruit. And I thought that I was dang, and again, I go back to the first time I met you or I heard of you, and I was like, my goodness, look at how far you've gone. But I think that you're really pushing it. You're stepping out of your comfort and you're expanding, and I think that that's amazing. That you're willing to think outside the box.
Thank you.
Are you going to ever have like what is this in your dreams to have a storefront
You know, I
or
don't
a restaurant?
know
I
yet.
should say.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Like I just
See that though.
Yeah.
I just kind of let God guide me, but
Yeah.
I think a storefront is definitely something to be considered. But I see myself like more of like a warehouse, like back end, where
Okay.
like my product could be at store. So I'm not physically running a store, but I'm running more of like the operations behind it,
Right.
so I can like get it even further to just like that restaurant. But huge shout out to Sefi Tillman, who took the time to Sefi to explain like what it would actually be like to own a physical
Yeah,
store.
because she's a commercial broker. Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie's dope.
I was like, okay, never mind. Like the overhead, damn.
No, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
But see, COVID's kind of showed us that, right? You really don't need a storefront to be successful. Like you just really need to be passionate and know how to push your product. And I know that you're great with like social media and developing that, and that's key. And all of these tools are free. You were talking about YouTube, like it's, if you're willing to do it and put in the work, it's gonna happen. But you have to be passionate about it. And I'm really big of saying if it's not a hell yes, it needs to be a hell no. And it seems like a lot of hell yeses for you. You know what I mean?
No, and the only reason why I asked that is because, you're always talking about how these are jolts of joys, right?
Yeah.
And you bring in kindness. I actually see a place, a Refi place that I can go to and just feel like I could be myself, like welcomed and just happy, like just to have that sit down place where I can have my drink, my snacks, and just a vibe. You know what I mean? Like a great energy space.
A vibe, yeah.
That's why I see that. That's why I asked you that, because I can see it, because I believe you can create that atmosphere.
I just envisioned myself walking in and you having like cute little couches.
Yeah,
and
you know what I mean?
little hammock
Like,
chairs
just
and
Aesthetic.
Like people do be wanting to go somewhere, because think about it. When people, to get out of this funk you're in, you always got to get out of your environment. Where would I want to go? I would want to go to Refi. You know what I'm saying? Like I vision that.
Like a lounge, like a hangout lounge.
Yeah, like that'd be super dope.
Yeah.
It just goes with your brand.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that I've had it in the back of my mind, and I've been saving up to, make it happen. But there's just so much I want to do sometimes where I'm like, oh, where do I go? Like, but once again, I have to take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Enjoy the journey. Like don't let what I'm saying like pressure. I dream big. I'm
awesome.
way out there though. Yeah. So enjoy your journey, like you're saying, man, because that's what it's all about. Enjoying the journey.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. So what's on the schedule for this week for Refi? Where can they catch you, or they're listening to this? They're like, man, I really want to try it. If you haven't had it, how can they, find you?
So I have a couple locations that carry my candy, and that's here on the boulevard at 0 Degrees Custard and Ice. It's a great Italian ice cream place.
Yeah, I love that place.
And they have like Italian ice, they have custard, and they're all handmade and original recipe. And so you can find my candy there, and you can also get your own Refi smoothie there, where they put my Refi rim infused with the mango. So it's like a mango drink smoothie with the Refi rim, which is a tamarind-based sauce. And then you can also find it at Just the Little Things over at the AV Mall, right by the food court. And then if you wanted to shop online, you can shop online. We ship nationwide now, and that's at refisnacks.com. But I will be over at the farmers market every Thursday here on the boulevard, every Friday in Monrovia, California. And then I will be at the AV Fair, which is the biggest event that happens here in the AV. California Poppy Festival, all of the City of Lancaster events. They've been so gracious to me to be able to express myself in those events. And then also the Palmdale Amphitheater, the movie nights. I'm there every single movie night.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I carry the chamoy pickles. I have a specialty drink just for that Palmdale Amphitheater movie nights, which is a mango drink.
Yeah.
And then some of the Palmdale Amphitheater concerts as well.
That is so dope.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, come on, y'all. You know, we're able to do this in our own community.
Right. That's
You know, and if his story has not inspired you yet, I mean, come on. That is amazing. You know, like I said, and I don't get tired of saying it, I'm so glad that we're having this conversation. You're also very young. People need to understand that sky's the limit. You really can set, and you can do anything you set your mind to, guys. Just, I always say, everything you need is on the other side of fear. Everything you need is on the other side of fear. And I mean, if your story isn't that, I mean, I don't know what is.
Thank you.
You know?
You know, I want to go back to what we was talking about with the youth real quick, because I love, as you know, I love working with the youth as well. Just a passion of mine. But how you guys were saying how, you know, the kids need to be seen and heard. You know, for me, I think kids are already seen, right? Because they're judged a lot. I think we need to listen. Like, their voices need to be. We need to be heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I believe that they're already seen, but they're being judged unfairly, and that's why we need to listen to them. And I think we did a show about that before.
Yeah.
Like, kids, like, because we're taught as kids to only speak when spoken to, but we're never spoken to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I really believe that kids need a platform where they can talk, because they need to, but they're always taught not to talk.
Yeah.
Because they are seen.
Yeah.
Like, I was judged when I was a kid. We all was. You was when you went to high school. So we're seen. They're seen. They're just being judged unfairly. So their voices just need to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a passion of mine, and that's why we have this podcast workshop that we're putting together, and, you know, hopefully we can get going soon. But because I want kids to have a platform where they can just talk and be heard instead of just being judged and seen.
Yeah.
I think that's important. That's important to me.
No, it is. That's why, you know, it's important that we're pouring into them, you know, because they are our future. That's the way I see it's our contribution to society.
Right.
You know, it's like, we have to think about it. If we're breaking them, what is our future going to be like?
Yeah.
But if we're just kind of investing into that, it's only going to get better.
Right, and that's why I love that you do the leadership workshop with the youth. Like, we need to, like, I feel like it's our obligation as an adults. Once we get to a certain level in our lives, we have to turn around and give back.
Yeah.
Like, we just can't turn our backs to them. Like I said, they're our futures.
Yeah, they are.
We got kids out there.
Yeah.
Like, we got to make sure we're leaving them in good hands.
Yeah. I have 2 teenagers. God, save my soul.
And my kids are adults, but they're young adults. They still acting like teenagers.
I think it has to do a lot with the parents, like allowing them to express themselves.
It does, 100%.
You know, like the way that I see my friends are like, you know, I would say like 3 years older than me, and they're like 28, almost 30, and, you know, they do have kids, but the way that they're raising their children is like completely different than the way I was raised and we were raised. And so we kind of learn from like our parents, you know, like nobody's perfect, not even our parents. Like, you know, they also had to learn to have a baby and, you know, like educate them. And I think that it has to do a lot with like how we move forward from like this generation to the next one, because, you know, there's like chat AI and all of these things are available for people. And also that could be dangerous because it's available, then people are going to start to take advantage of the free stuff, right? Like the chat AI, and like, that's why it's important to educate our kids. Like, hey, like this website, it's no good. Like, yeah, you can use it for school projects, but like, you're not going to learn anything, you know, because you can just ask the chat AI to write you an essay. It'll write you an essay.
Right.
And it's like, well, then that's kind of hurting our children then, because then they're not learning.
They're not learning. They're not thinking for themselves or anything. They're not putting no effort into it.
That's why I'm worried. You know, I've been looking at a lot of conspiracy theories on YouTube and like about chat AI and you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I don't like the whole AI thing either. I'm worried about that as well. But I mean, just going back to what you were saying earlier, it's all about it starts with the parents, right? But you gotta look at what their environment was like, right? And I talk about this a lot. It's all about the I and the we system. So when you're a child, you're all about the we system. you're only learning from your what your environment is. Some people that didn't grow up with parents. It may have been their uncles, their aunts, or just their neighborhood. That's what they're learning from. Because you got to think, as a child, from the day you was born, you was given your name. So you're giving your religion. You're giving every thought, every feelings you have. You're giving that as a baby, and that's what you're growing up to. But as a young adult, or even starting off in, I think, the teenage years, is when you have to start developing into the I system, your own individual system. Some people don't do that. Some people stay in that we system. Well, no, this is what my parents taught me. This is what the environment taught me, and they're stuck in it, which hurts our world, our society. It does, because they never grew out of that. They just bringing it from generation to generation. But that's why it's important for us to do what we're doing, is so we can teach our kids to not to say what your parents taught you is bad, but you do have to break out of that we system and be an I system. And like learn from yourself. Maybe how they was raised and grew up is not for you. Like we have to evolve at some point.
Yeah, I mean, even for us, there's times that maybe there was like a hiccup with, like, for example, let's say my husband, and then my daughter would say, well, that's daddy. And then my son the other day told him, yeah, but that's a choice daddy's making. Like you have to make your own, not just because, let's say, he's upset or would yell. That doesn't mean that that's what you do, and we're teaching them that, versus a lot of kids that even were mean and were bullied. Now I realize, like, they probably were being treated like that at home, and that's all that they know. Siblings, cousins, all of that stuff, that we don't become aware of that, and that's what I teach my kids. Not just because I'm a drug addict, that means you have to be that. At some point, you have to make those decisions. You have to, do that for yourself. And even in the workshops that we do with the kids, we teach them that, building their psychological safety, and that's where I always go back to, if it's not a hell yes, it has to be a hell no. Like, when do you decide that? Like, ask yourself, do I really feel passionate about what I'm doing? But a lot of kids, they really don't know any better. And that's where we want to teach them. Like, you got to do it for yourself. You know what I mean?
I had a situation that I wanted to share. I was at the AB Fairgrounds for the AB Fair, and this little boy that came by my booth, like, the mom was talking to me, and I've seen the little kid there, but my worker was on the left side, and the kid was taking stuff from the table, and like the mom was kind of like keeping me busy, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, I cannot believe you're teaching your children to steal, right? And when the people left, my friend was like, hey, the kid just took like 2 of your little pouches. And I was like, what? I did not see that. Like, I was talking to the mom. And so I was like, all right, give me a second. I'm going to go get them. So I go, and I was like, hey, do you have something that belongs to me? And the little kid was like, oh, she pointed at the mom. And I was just like shook it. I was shook it to the ground that the mom like had told the children to steal. And I said, well, you can just ask. I would give it to you. Like, you can have it. It's fine. I don't need it back. But just learn to ask. Like, don't, it's not nice to steal, I told him. And the mom was just like, she just, embarrassed. Like, and I was like, I just looked at her and I was like, I don't know about this. Have a good day. But that's not nice.
And we all have sympathy for people that's on hard times, right? But like you said, ask, because you never know. Somebody might be like, here's $100.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. Like, we all get it, right? Like, we all not mean and evil. Like, you might never know. Like, I'm pretty sure if the kid came up to you and said, I don't have no money, I'm pretty sure you would have like, here, man.
Yeah.
If it's not this.
Yeah.
Like, like
Have
free water. Like,
yeah,
for sure. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But that's why I started preaching, like, it starts with the parent. Cause I'm like, damn, this kid is now going to grow and like, I don't know.
And it's so sad that parents sometimes obligate their kids, to do these things. Yeah. And I've seen it, and it's like, oh my God, like, that really sucks. And you see it in the kid's face. Like, sometimes they don't even want to do that. But I just hope that at some point they hear this and understand, like, you do have, that power, that superpower, we tell the kids. It really is a superpower of yours. We are all superheroes, and that really is our superpower. It's that power to say yes or no. you know, to do it or not.
No, right. And I believe what you did is going to stick with that kid, that child. It's just unfortunate, like the mom, no one just ever taught her or said anything. She never had that type of encounter.
Yeah.
So she's just going off based off her previous environment or how she was raised, which is unfortunate, right? Because then she's trying to now take it to the next generation, her kids. But thank God that you said something, and I really believe that child is going to stick with that child and hopefully turn the corner.
And I was so furious. Oh my gosh. I never lose character, you know, but that really just pissed me. That pissed me off that the mom was, you know, keeping me entertained for the children to steal. And I was going to say something totally inappropriate, but I said no. Like, no, no, don't do that. This is children. Like, remember, it's a child. Like, and I just said, no, that's not nice. You can have it, but that's not nice. And that kind of was like, oh, you know, pointing at the mom. And I said, I don't know about that, you know.
And not only that, but you're our community. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's a Target or a Walmart, you know, that they are just pouring in the money.
I mean,
you're also building, and be mindful of that. You know, like this is our community. You're stealing almost from your brother, you know, because that's what we all are. We really are all brothers and sisters in this small little community.
That's true.
You know, and we all have to help and build each other, support each other. Don't break each other down. I mean, the world will do that for you. You know, let's not do that. And like you said, that's why it's so important to be kind. It's free. It's the one thing that is free, guys. Yes. You don't have to pay any fees. Yeah. It's so easy to be kind.
I was about to say that. I'll say, and it's easy.
Yeah.
It's less stress.
Yeah.
You know how much stress it takes to be angry at somebody?
Yeah. And that's why we were talking to complete strangers when we were in New Orleans, because everyone was so kind. Yeah. Everyone was so like, hey, you know, whatever. It was dope. Like, it really, like, I felt so good to be surrounded by kindness.
You know, one of my, just to go back up talking about jolts of joys, whenever I'm like if I wake up in like a blah mood, I like to go for a walk in the morning with my dog. And I love when like a neighbor is in their front yard taking out trash or doing whatever, and they say good morning. That just picks me up immediately. Just that little simple good morning, 2 words.
Yeah.
And I'm walking and I'm like, cause I literally purposely do that because I know I'm gonna run across some neighbor that's gonna say good morning. And by the time I make my round, it's like about 1.5 miles I do. And by the time I get home, I done had about 6 or 7 good mornings. Wow. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. You never know how far a simple hello will go.
Right.
You never know how far it will go. You don't know how that person's doing. You don't know what they've been through. Right. You don't know if that's all they needed.
Yep.
You know, and with suicide being on so high, that hello, you know what I mean? That good morning, the how are you?
Yes.
Could be a game changer.
Yes.
You know, so I always say that. I challenge everyone, say hello to someone new.
Right.
Please.
You really never know.
Please.
You really, and not only that, but even in business, that might be the person that maybe's been looking for you, you know, and that simple hello just opened that door. Like, oh my God, this is how we met. And that's how me and Mike met.
No, absolutely. And that's part of why, like when I decided to do this podcast, I said I want to interview like all these business owners out here because I want them to know their backstory. Because now, you know, especially like you, Refi, it's like once someone hears this and if they've never met you before, next time they see you, they're going to be like, I want to go say hi to him. You know what I mean? Like just to get to know people, because a lot of people have this misconception about business owners, like they're just snobby. They've always had it made for them, like the silver spoon in their mouths. And it's like, no, like listen to their stories. They're just like you.
Yeah.
I think with business owners, like with me at least, and like people here on the boulevard, for example, one of my biggest inspiration is Sam from Lucky Luke. She's a co-owner with Brian, right? And she's always so genuine and so nice, even though she has a million things going around her, right? Because she's very successful. And I try to aim at people like her because she's a role model. And some of the things I realized, like growing in my business, is that people think, like you said, it's snobby or, you know, they don't want to say hello, but sometimes we just have so much going on and we deal with so much people every day that it's hard to remember that specific person. Right. And people, you know, like it's happened to me where people's like, you don't remember me? Like I bought candy from you like 2 years ago at the Swami, and it's like, thank you so much. I love that. Like, I love that you remember, but I deal with so many people every day. Like, no, I don't remember, you know, but what's your name? Like, let me get to know you. Now that we connected, let's do that, right? But I definitely encountered that where people are like, what? You don't remember me? Like, what? Or, you know, I was like, oh, I feel so bad after that. I'm like,
I used to get that a lot too. Walking through a mall or something, people come up to me because I used to meet a lot of people all the time growing up in Hollywood and, you know, doing all that. And I used to get people like coming up to me with my when I was married with Nina at the time, and people used to be like, you know, come to me. But I play it off, like, oh, yeah, you don't know. Then I look at Nina, I'm like, who's that? Because she used to always be with me, right? Like, she used to hang out with me in all the studios and all that. So I'll go, hey, who is that? She was like, I don't know, they're your friend.
They said Mike.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, and they do. They, Mike, what's up? And I was like, oh, shit. But no, Sam, go back to Sam. Sam is great. And I don't know if you know Sam's story. Sam got an amazing story. But I'm trying to get her on the show, but she's just so busy. But she said she is going to come on here one day. We just gotta work out a time in a day. But her story is amazing, and you can tell, like, and this is another reason why I like doing it, because when you have someone like a Sam, right, it trickles down to your staff. Like, every time I go to Lucky Luke's, I have never had a problem there. Like, their staff is amazing, but because it starts at the top.
Yeah,
she has such great energy. She loves people. She loves what she's. Passion. She has a passion for what she's doing. Why are you looking at my hand? Because I'm way up here.
No.
She like following my hand. But no, it trickles down to her staff. And that's why I always have a great time when I go to Lucky Luke's.
Yeah.
So when I first met Sam, it was over at her Palmdale location. I literally knocked on her door. It was closed, and she happened to be there. And I was like, hi, you know, my name is Refugio, and I wanted to throw an event here in your tap room in Palmdale, because she has such a beautiful location for pop-ups. And that's the time that I started doing pop-ups with Refi Snacks Events, which is my second brand, where I do events around the community and bring the vendors together. And she was like, well, tell me more about what the event is. And I laid out for her, it was Small Business Saturday to support small businesses in November, like right after Thanksgiving. And she was like, I'm actually going to be out of the state of California, but we can figure something out. She was so gracious. And I knew when I met her, when she asked me, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 21. And she's like, dude, you're only 21? You're going to be a badass when you're 30. And that was like, damn, like, Sam is saying that. You know, like, I love Sam. I appreciate Sam and all she's done for me. She's shown me so much about, you know, business and even like financials. Like, I didn't even know what QuickBooks was. And she took the time out of her busy day to teach me. Like, Sam, I love you.
Yeah.
No, every time I'm not gonna say every time because I try not to bother her, but anytime I'm at Lucky Luke's on the boulevard here, I always ask if she's there, and she always comes out to say hi. Like, I love Sam. She's amazing.
And just one quick thing about that, it's not small businesses. They're thriving businesses.
Thriving business.
Yes,
yeah,
because if you keep yourself at a small, that's where you're always going to stay.
Ooh.
But you're a thriving business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's something that I was taught because I made that same mistake. And I was told it's not small because if not, that's where you keep yourself. You're a thriving business.
I'm going to call it Thriving Business Saturday now.
They should, because small, you keep yourself at that. And that's not where you are. Yeah. Sky's the limit for you. I mean, like Mike always says, there is no ceiling.
There's no ceiling.
There is no ceiling.
It's cool.
No.
Thriving.
Yeah.
I'm a thriving business.
Yes, you are. Yeah, and I
Come
always
on,
say
Refi, you
that.
don't know that?
No.
Yeah, you are.
The thing is, like, I still see myself really small because I am. Like,
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not, baby.
No, hey,
You might want to think that, but you're not.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, you're
like,
not.
Like she just said, because you're putting a limit on yourself,
Yeah.
and you have no limits.
Yeah, don't do
you,
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel so inspired being here.
Yeah.
I want to come here every time.
No, please. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Don't ever put limits on yourself. Like I said, it's not a destination.
No.
Like, you're not just where you at, and you're just gonna stay there. You're gonna continue to grow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for believing in me.
No,
Appreciate
thank you
you
for
guys.
believing in yourself because you've given us the gift of you.
Yeah.
You know, and I've told Mike that too. I said, people don't realize, but we are God's gift to everyone else. You are a gift. You know, I'm privileged to be here with you, having this conversation with you, with Mike, with just anybody.
Yeah.
You know, even if you leave in the street, the person you meet, that's like a gift to have that conversation.
No, when like I told you when you first walked in here, I've noticed you. Every time I walk a lot of these events, every time I see your booth, first thing that comes to my mind is energy. I like, oh, they go Refi. Like,
and the long line.
Great. Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm serious. Like, I pay attention to, that's one of the things I pay attention to, just like you. Like, I pay attention to people in the booth, how they stand and how they greeting people, how they look. Like, it's important.
Yeah.
Even though I don't do pop-ups, but I still pay attention to companies out there because it is still my business to pay attention to them. Yeah. And your booth, every time you're there, is like, you just have this big smile and this energy that's just bursting out.
Yeah.
I see it from a mile away. Like, Refi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the long lines. And I always say, like, if there's a long line, you know it's good. And you always have that. So that's beautiful. That's a blessing, and it says a lot.
Yeah, my community, I'm so thankful for everybody here in the Antelope Valley for believing in me and just, feeding off my energy. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, like, from, even if you just support me by sharing my Instagram posts, even if you just comment, like, thank you. Like, that helps a lot. A lot of people don't realize that you don't have to necessarily pour into me. Like, you don't have to give me money. You don't have to buy my product. Like, just share with your friends. Like, hey, my friend sells at the Boulevard. Go check him out. Like, that goes so much longer than you actually coming to buy. We appreciate that as well, right? But, like, support doesn't mean financial support. It means, like, brotherlyhood support. Like, a lot of people who, like, for example, me being a gay Latino in this community is hard to have like a man-to-man conversation, but I found a lot of people here in the community that don't care about that. It's like, well, you're gay, cool. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm straight and I'm gonna be your buddy. We love Refi. And like, that was cool because I, like, even my dad, like, he's been there for me, but I never had that like business aspect to have someone who can teach me about business. Or, for example, Chris over at Don Sal. I don't know if you know Chris.
Oh, I know Chris, yeah. I know everybody on the Boulevard. Chris is my buddy. Like, I don't like clubs because I'm 52 years old, but I do support him. Like, I'll stop in on a Friday night or a Saturday night and have a drink. And I'll even go behind the bar where he hangs out, and he be having his little bottles back there. We'll have a shot together, but then I'll leave. But just to support, like, because the club scene ain't me no more, but every time I go and eat in there, he always shows me love. And so I support everybody as much as I can.
And Chris is one of those persons that also took time out of his busy day to support Refi. Right. And so he also carries the Refi rim over at his cantina. Okay. And, it really speaks volumes for people that see me because I tell them my real story. I share them with them. And, Chris has always great advice for me. He's always like, hey, don't just stay there. Like, try new things, or, hey, try to do this picture, or always giving me ideas. And so he's almost like a figure, not because he's older, but because, he has experience. It's knowledge. So I learn from the best. Like, why not? No, but thank you for that. And thank you for, even telling your story right now and supporting the LGBT community. I mean, I think that's important because it shouldn't matter what anybody lifestyle choice is. I mean, I look at it like that. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. Yeah. Because like I'm gonna tell this quick story real quick. I actually have a nephew who, is just transitioning over, and one of my sisters don't like it, and she's old school, right? So, and she was just never, educated or went out of her neighborhood, I should say, to even learn about this type of stuff, right? It goes back to the we system. She's even though I went out to my I system, she stayed in her little we system, which is fine. I still love my sister. And she's actually my best sister because I got 3 of them. But anyways, back to the story. She doesn't like it because she doesn't believe in it, and that's okay. That's like her choice, right? But for me, I had to sit her down one day and said, you know what? Suicide is so high in that community. I would rather him do what he wants so he's happy than put a gun to his head. Because, and I asked her, I said, how would you feel if he did that? And she agreed with me. She was like, no, I understand. She's like, I don't like it, but I agree with you. But it's true though, and I think we all need to like realize that like it's okay like to be different. Again, going back to what I said earlier, if God wanted us all the same, He would have made us the same. Yeah, it'd be boring. Right. Okay, like He made all of us different for a reason.
I support everybody. You know, I'm more into the disabled world. You know, because my son has a disability, so I'm more supportive of them. I'm supportive of everybody. I shouldn't say that, but you know, I work more with the people with disabilities. But I have a lot of friends that are great, gay and transgender, and I support all of them. It's like as long as you're happy. Like, why am I gonna put time and energy to be mad at you or try to convince you otherwise?
Yeah.
Like, that just don't make sense to me. Like, cause just be happy, be you. Like you said, everybody has their own personal, you know, identity. Just be who you are and enjoy life. If somebody don't like it, who gives a shit?
Oh, well, yeah.
You know?
I think when I came out with, if I can share the story.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
yeah. When I came out to my parents, I was 20. And we were sitting at a dinner table, and it's just 4 of us. It's my older brother, who's 27 now, 28, and then my dad, my mom, and me, right? And I'm the baby of the house. So, of course, it was going to be a big conversation. And I said, you know what? I don't think I'm happy because I'm hiding who I am. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, okay, talk to us. And when I was just sitting there, like, she's very strict. You know, my mom is like very straight to the point. And I was like, yeah, I think I like boys. And she was like, what do you mean you like boys? And I was like, yeah, I think, you know, like, I don't like women to date, but I like boys to date. And I remember my dad did get upset at that time. He got out of the table and walked out. But then like a week later, he sat down and he said, look, as long as you're respectful in my household and as long as you respect other people and respect public spaces, I'm okay with it because I cannot change you. That's who you are. And my mom at that time, my brother was the one who really accepted me. He was like, it's okay, bro. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't care. You're going to be my brother. I'll be someone's ass if like they disrespect you, you know, like trying to be there for me. And now that I'm 25, they just, you know, my life is so much better when I came out. So much better because I am authentically myself and I am respectful. So I think that, yes, you know, as long as you're happy, but as long as you're respectful as well.
Well, yeah,
there's definitely boundaries in society that you need to respect, right? Because if you're different, that's cool. We love that you're different, but also like, you know, be respectful. Like, be respectful of children, be respectful of the community. And for me, coming out with my brand as Refi Snacks and like during Pride, we have Pride Cups and we support our community. It's more so to say, hey, we're here. You know, like, hey, it's nothing wrong with us. And we've gotten a lot of support, even from the city, even from the city of Palmdale, city of Lancaster. It's not to say like I'm gay and I'm going to do whatever I want and I'm going to be a rebel. No, it's to say that it's okay.
No, and you're right about
I
that.
love that.
No, I do too, and I love how you put that because a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people don't talk about it, and that conversation need to be had because, yeah, it's okay to be different, but be respectful at the same time.
Yeah.
100%. I love the way you put that, and thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
I mean, that takes a lot of courage because a lot of people in business, they hide that because they think it's going to hurt their business.
Right.
But I love the fact that you put it out there. I mean, that just, again, shows your heart and your energy, that what I felt like, because you're going to continue to thrive.
Yeah.
The right people will support. That's
Exactly.
the thing. Like, I think that when you are yourself and you, whatever you do, whether you want to sing, whether you want to dance, whether you want to do a podcast, whether you want to sell candy, right? The right people will come.
Yeah.
What other people think is none of your business, honey.
Yeah.
Move on.
You can't control that.
Right. Sweetie, wake up. It's your life. Like, you need to keep thriving for yourself. Because when nobody else is there, you're going to be there for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, I've had sad times. I'm not going to lie. You know, I've had depression and anxiety, and I definitely took medicine for that, and I got through that, right? And even today, like, I still bottle some of my insecurities, like, of being a bigger boy and, you know, like, want to work out. But I've learned to just love myself, love what I do, love the people around me that love me, and if they don't, it's okay.
I say it's more to love, baby. And if you don't like it, but it ain't for you. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I said it's just more
It's
to
true.
love. Yeah.
Preach.
They used to say, es que eres más bella así. And I
It's
was
true.
like, you know what? It's the truth.
It's
so
true.
embrace it, baby. I've had a
Thank
challenge
you.
with that too, but I had to say to myself, you know what? if my man, you know what I mean? If he's with it when it's, time, then I'm good. I'm doing something good. So it's like, not everyone's going to love me, but the person that, I love loves me back. That's all that matters. So never downplay that. You're amazing, and people love you for who you are, for being original. And I go back to, it's your truth, and that's powerful. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people can say that. They'll live in a fantasy world that, it's just going to tear them apart. But when you kind of just embrace who you are, oh my God, and the people, you're like, dang, I didn't even imagine that person would be attracted, but they're attracted to who you are and your confidence and your heart, most importantly.
Thank you.
It's solid. And anyone that would, be with you, it's they're getting themselves an amazing person. And that's what I always say. It has nothing to do with your gender preference or whatever. It's your heart. It's who you are. If you're a shitty person, it's going to be straight or gay. You know what I mean? And that's where it comes down to. Yeah. And you're an awesome person.
Thank you.
So don't ever let anyone else downplay that, or even bring all of that noise down. That's a superpower that we also have, that we can turn that volume all the way down, and allow all that amazing stuff to just overpower all of that, and remind yourself, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're awesome. And especially what you do, like, you give back, it's with your heart. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. Yeah.
No, thank you for that. And especially for being just a man and talking your truth, because like I was talking about my last show, I was just telling my truth. It's important for us men to start talking our truth and just saying what's on our minds and our hearts, and stop holding things in, because we're not doing nothing for society or even ourselves by holding things in. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have this conversation. And as men, like, we need to be okay with being emotional.
Yeah,
it's okay
100%.
to cry. It's okay to feel sad one day, and it's okay to talk to your buddy.
Yes.
Like, within, like, being gay allows me to talk to women and talk to male and be very personal with them both.
Right.
And I think that the heterosexual person is, because if they talk to a woman, it's more of like a relationship, right? But not necessarily. It's all in your head. You can have a friend and still be emotional and still open up, because it's coming from your heart. You have no bad intentions. Yeah.
No, like all week, like I said, last week kind of put me on this truth thing. And all week I've been having great conversations with, female friends of mine and male friends of mine. Like Angela helped me out a lot. One day last week I was so depressed. Like, I didn't even get on, like, I wasn't going to get on my Zoom CAP class. And my accountability partner was like, get your ass in here. And I was like, no, because I don't want to put, like, I didn't feel, and this was exactly what I told her. I said, no, because I don't feel like putting on a fake smile. Like, I really wasn't feeling it. And that's okay sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
it's okay to not be okay.
She was like, she convinced me to get on there. She was like, Mike, you don't have to smile, but showing up is the first step to, making progress. So she's like, go to your computer. I want to see your damn face. You ain't got to smile. but I did. And I did feel better. But it's okay to be okay.
Yeah.
You shut up for you.
Yeah.
Huh? You shut up for you.
No, I did. And I'm still going through my struggles this week, just because, as you know, I'm just going through a lot. But, I love talking about it. I get emotional when I'm talking about it, because a lot of things are coming out. But I know I'm going to be all right.
Yeah. Vulnerability is strength. That's what 100%. It is. People think it's weakness, but in reality, no, the weak people won't, allow themselves to express and navigate through that, and it really takes a lot of strength just to be vulnerable, to say your truth, just to say, I'm not okay right now, right? Because we're always okay. Yeah. That's bullshit.
And I've gotten so many comments, like people was in my DMs last week after I was doing, after I released the show, thanking me for being vulnerable and thanking me for telling the story. Like, I got so many comments and messages. I was like, wow. I wasn't even expecting that.
Yeah. Well, I'm back now, and I'm pulling you out of that.
That's Dream team.
Yeah. I'm always like, come on, like, we gotta get through this.
I saw a quote that I want to share with you.
No,
please.
Because I know that you're saying you go through a hard time, and sometimes life throws things at you, and I had to learn this, but sometimes life throws things at you because you're strong enough. And then sometimes the universe will take things away because you deserve better and you want better. So
100%.
That
and
part.
100%. I believe that. And I forgot. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and we was laughing because, like, obviously, like everything that everybody been telling me all week, especially like you this morning, like I know. Because I do mindset training. I talk to people, right? Like I'm somewhat of a coach. I talk to people, and I would be saying the same thing to you. I just don't take my own advice. I suck at that. And I know everybody do that, right? I just don't take my own advice. But I was just talking to somebody last night, a friend of mine, and she was like, yeah, God just give you things because, you can handle it. I was like, but I don't want to be that strong today. Like, tell them to stop because it's a lot. No, I joke about it, but that's because I have a great relationship with God. I'm like, okay, God, I don't know why you think I'm strong today, but I don't want to be this strong today. Maybe tomorrow we can talk about it, but today I do not want to be this strong. But I know it's the best, and I know He knows what He's doing. He doesn't make mistakes, so, but it's just going through the motions of it,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, since you did a quote, I think
it's
time for my crush your goals. So
yeah, because we ain't had one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I honestly just pull them out. So before you came, I pulled this, and today it says, "You're strong. You're a Kelly Clarkson song. You got this." I don't know why, but it just added up to you. You know what I'm saying? I saw that, and I was like, hell yeah. I said, you know what? Get it, Refi.
Aw, thank you.
So, I leave you with that. And again, I just pull them out, and they always kind of line up with our guests. And I think that's beautiful. You're definitely going to inspire so many different people, so many different youth, young entrepreneurs, or maybe that person that's always wanted to just kind of get out there and explore and just take that risk. I say this, everything is on the other side of fear. Absolutely. You just got to get over that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If not, you're always, and this is another thing that we learn, right? The richest place is a cemetery because so many people die with all of those amazing, just, what ifs, inventions, whatever it could be, and they just die. Well, I'll do it. I'll get around to it. Tomorrow's never promised. It's today. Get up and do it. You don't have to do it perfect. You'll learn as you go. You'll learn as you grow. But just get up and do it. You know what I mean? Take a leap at it. What is it? Jump and grow your wings on the way down?
Yeah, you got to jump.
There it is.
You're going to get bumps and scrapes and bruises and all that. You're going to bleed a little bit. But your wings will eventually soar.
Yeah. Your ouchies always get better.
but remember that, because our conversation later, what you just said.
But take the lead?
No, about, you just said it like 10 seconds ago. About we're not promised tomorrow, the cemetery, all those ideas and thought, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, but don't stay stuck because that other thing might be around the corner. But we'll talk about that later.
We'll be having some conversations.
Good stuff. Sometimes I'm also a therapist. I'm just like,
anyway.
But I'm a good one, right?
No, you are.
I'm good.
You're a great friend.
Thank you.
That's what you are.
Aww.
You're a great friend.
Thank you.
And I do listen to you.
Sometimes.
I just don't like what you say sometimes.
I know.
But I know it's the truth, though. I know it's the truth. But in the moment, you just don't she right. Like, fuck.
You know what I mean? I've been through a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to start those conversations. So I hear a lot from a lot of people. And I always say this, if you're not willing to pull out your piece of paper and your pen and take notes, what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? It might not be your truth, but you never know when you're going to need that advice. You know?
100%.
So it's beautiful.
Well, man, thank you, Refi. Appreciate you, man. Continue to be you.
Yes.
Continue your amazing journey. And, I wish you nothing but the best and a lot more success.
Thank you.
And I appreciate what you do with this community. Because you are an inspiration and a pillar out here.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you so
can you
much
just kind of throw out how people can get a hold of you again?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram at Refi Snacks. At Refi Snacks, the original wet candy. We are also on Facebook, and then our website, refisnacks.com. And then you can always just email me at refisnacksevents@gmail.com for any catering questions. And we just hope to see you next time in one of my booths, enjoying a drink, enjoying my candy. And, don't be shy. Say hi to me. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure being here.
Our pleasure.
Yay, thank you.
All right, we out of here, you guys.
All right.
Be well, be
Be
kind.
well, y'all.
Have patience.
I
Show
still
some
have-
love.
Patience
Be patient.
is key.
Be patient. Be patient with me because I'm still learning.
I'm like, come on, man.
All right, we out here.